Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in for a few pleasant surprises during his visit to Telangana on Monday. While the Congress is engaged in a fierce battle with the BJP at the centre, one might be excused if they are left wondering where is this rivalry in Telangana, where the Congress is now in power. Chief Minister Revanth Reddy has called Prime Minister Narendra Modi his big brother and said that if Telangana is to develop, it has to follow the Gujarat model. Reddy on Monday said that he won't really fight against the central government as he asked PM Modi's support to help develop the state of Telangana. Not just these words of brotherhood, Revanth Reddy of the Congress is also said to have adhered to protocol in receiving the Prime Minister at the airport. Now, those who have been following Telangana politics closely would be well aware of the treatment meted out to the PM who was several years by Revanth Reddy's predecessor, the former Chief Minister and BRS Chief KCR. It had become normal practice for KCR to assign his junior minister to welcome and see off PM Modi. So to understand what this Revanth Reddy PM Modi brotherhood means for Telangana politics and the Lok Sabha elections, I spoke to TS Sudhir, senior political analyst, and my colleague Apoorva, who reports from India Today from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
us. First of all, Sudhir, what do you make of this bonhomie or this brotherhood of the Congress and the BJP? Is it like a tactical game plan that Revanth Reddy is playing, or is there more to it, the way you see it?
Well, I don't see it as a Congress and a BJP kind of a bonhomie. I see it more an effort by Revanth Reddy to be very different from his predecessor, K. Chandrasekhar Rao. If you recall, in the last 2.5 years of KCR's rule after 2020-21, he was adopting a very adversarial position vis-a-vis Narendra Modi personally and also vis-a-vis the central government. As a result, KCR had stopped going to the airport to receive the Prime Minister, which is a matter of protocol. Every time the Animal Husbandry Minister, Talasani Srinivas Yadav, would be sent to the airport to receive the Prime Minister, he had stopped sharing the stage even on official functions. The first few times he said he was not well or he had other engagements, and the last, later on, it just everyone assumed that KCR wouldn't really make it. So in that sense, Telangana, the impression gained ground, was suffering as a result of this very adversarial position vis-a-vis the center. Projects were not getting cleared. It was taking more time, and it was felt that Telangana did not really gain as a result. Revanth Reddy is actually sounding and looking like a whiff of fresh air in contrast on this particular point, because he does realize that if he adopts a more friendly approach vis-a-vis the center and the Prime Minister at a personal level, it would actually help in clearance of projects for Telangana, which has happened in the last a few days and weeks as well. So in that sense, I think it's a sensible and a more pragmatic approach. Yes, calling him the elder brother obviously must have pleased the Prime Minister no end. Also, importantly, Gautam, the interesting point that I thought he said was talking about the Gujarat model. Now, and on that, I presume both the BJP and Revanth Reddy would be on the same page, because during the BRS rule, all the time they would pit the Telangana model versus the Gujarat model to say that the Telangana model is much superior compared to the Gujarat model. Now, Revanth Reddy is actually saying that the Telangana model is not good enough, which is why we want to emulate the Gujarat. The Telangana model is not good enough, which is why we want to emulate the Gujarat model. And in that sense, it is like hitting two birds with one stone, because he also ends up rubbishing the Telangana model followed by the KCR regime and also praising the Gujarat model, which is identified with Mr. Narendra Modi's innings as Gujarat CM. In that sense, it would please the Prime Minister no end.
No, absolutely. That's true, Sudhir. The way I look at it, while it may be true that he is looking to demolish the BRS theory of Telangana development, but isn't he also risking angering people among his own faction and the central leadership in Delhi by praising the Gujarat model here?
Well, yes, to an extent, given that Revanth Reddy is also considered very close to Rahul Gandhi and the central leadership. But at that time, Revanth Reddy also realizes that he needs to make a distinction between Revanth Reddy, the politician, the Congress politician, and Revanth Reddy, the Chief Minister of Telangana. Just a few days ago, in fact, the last 1 week, he attacked the BJP, and he said that Narendra Modi has to be removed as Prime Minister if this country has to be developed. Now, that is the political avatar of Revanth Reddy. But today, as Chief Minister, following the protocol, ensuring that as Chief Minister, he appeals to the Prime Minister of the country and pretty much taking a leaf out of Narendra Modi's book. Because you recall, when Modi was the CM of Gujarat, he used to similarly push for various projects, push for his demands as the Chief Minister of Gujarat when the then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh would come visiting. So, in that sense, he's proving to be a more pragmatic leader and politician, making it very clear that, okay, he has a role to play as the Congress Chief Minister, wherein he will attack both the BRS and the BJP. But when he is donning the role of the Chief Minister at an official function, he will talk business, he will talk development. Also, the whole Viksit Bharat goal, he does realize, I think somewhere Revanth Reddy does realize that this whole slogan of development that the Prime Minister is talking about, especially in states in South India, is striking a chord. So if you sound like someone who is opposing Narendra Modi, it would also look like you're opposing all the development that he's bringing about. Don't forget that today he laid the foundation stone for roughly about 56,000 crore rupees worth of projects in Telangana. Now, that's not a small number. That's not an insignificant number. So Revanth Reddy on a stage like this cannot come across as sounding someone who is not very happy with whatever goodies Telangana is getting.
Absolutely. While we may talk of this bonhomie and this brotherhood that Revanth Reddy is portraying here, but it does appear to be a little one-sided. I'll tell you why. While Revanth Reddy went on praising the PM Modi, on the other hand, he was very clear with his the kind of statements that he made here. He said that the Congress party coming to power in place of the BRS makes no difference. He alleged that both parties are one and the same. He also went on to make several other allegations. So I would like to take your views on this, Apoorva. While Revanth Reddy is being so cordial in speaking about the PM, what makes the Prime Minister be so negative and take on Revanth Reddy here? And this messaging, it shows that PM Modi is making clear that we are still rivals, while Revanth Reddy is saying that, okay, I'm open for a more cordial relationship here.
Well, definitely, Gautam. It's interesting to see because, like Sudhir had pointed out, yes, there's going to be a diplomatic branch of friendship that is being, extended from Telangana's Chief Minister, Revanth Reddy. But it's also important to note how the PM has presented the situation itself. In fact, while on one hand, we're seeing Revanth Reddy, the Telangana's Chief Minister, and Congress is one of the top finest leaders here for Telangana. He's going ahead and calling Modi as Bade Bhai. And on the other side, we're still seeing how the Prime Minister there, Mr. Modi, is giving drawing a comparison between the Congress and the BRS, which had been the former government here in Telangana. He's drawing comparisons between the two, stating that yes, there has been a sort of parivarvad or a family rule, kind of dynasty rule that has been ongoing there since decades. So he's also pointing out at the Congress-led family there, including Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, and Rahul Gandhi, and he's out stating that yes, just like the Congress-led dynasty family politics there in the Congress, there's also the BRS, which had been leading, the state of Telangana for almost over a decade right now. So he's trying to draw similarities between the two. Yes, we're seeing how Revanth Reddy has gone ahead on stage and stated that Modi is like Bade Bhai, and he wishes that developmental activities do emerge. A lot of opportunities are given for a very rich state like Telangana. Remember, we've seen a lot of developmental activities that are also cropped up here for the state. But there was also ongoing tussle between the KCR and the Modi factor. But now, with KCR being the leader of opposition, now Revanth Reddy has given a chance for Telangana, for the people of Telangana. He states that this is going to be, a olive branch that I'm extending so that there be cordial relations, so that funds that need to be diverted to the state not be missed at any chance. So this is the kind of politics that is being played. The Prime Minister, on the other hand, Mr. Modi, is very clear on what he wishes to set the record straight, which is that there is no two lines between the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party. They are both very different parties with very different agendas on mind. He states that time and again, it's not a family-led politics, just like in Congress or the BRS, but rather the BJP has its own agenda, which is for the people, by the people.
All right. Well, that may be the case. It's also maybe worth remembering that Revanth Reddy had spent a bit of time as an ABVP activist as well. Do you
Mhm.
feel some of this bonhomie also stems from that because of his link to the ABVP and which is connected with the RSS as well? Is there any semblance of can we say that this is why he has a little bit of closeness that he is trying to portray with PM Modi here?
Ironically, this has been the talk during the elections that just took place in December. There had been a lot of talk that took place. The BRS, in fact, was targeting Revanth Reddy, stating that he had been a former member of the ABVP, the RSS, and that, in fact, he had ties with the Bharatiya Janata Party. That was what was the allegations that had been pointed out. By the BRS party, that in fact the BJP in fact had also gone on to state how Revanth Reddy had been a man who had not been there for his word of allegiance to the Congress party, and most likely was looking to jump ships. So then we're seeing how he has made a blank statement stating that yes, he's going to be part of the Congress. Not only that, even in the Padyatras and the kind of yatras that Revanth Reddy took for the Congress, it's been quite clear what has been the motives that has been established. We're also seeing, one side, yes, he was a former member of the ABVP and the RSS, but there hasn't been any side of inklings that Revanth Reddy has shown for the Bharatiya Janata Party or for Mr. Modi. In fact, Revanth Reddy had been very clear in his election speeches as well. He had been targeting the BRS and the BJP, saying how neither of these two parties had done anything for the state. And in fact, it was the likes of Prime Minister Modi and the Bharatiya Janata Party which had stopped funds from coming in for Telangana as well. And now the Congress, now that it's in a government here in Telangana, has been attacking the center time and again. During the recent meetings as well that the state government had held, the budget meetings as well, there had been a lot that had been questioned as to why there was still several funds that were pending to be seeking approval from the central government there and from the BJP, which is at the central government. So we are seeing the paradox that is playing out. On one side, we're seeing how there has been comparisons made for the past and the history of Revanth Reddy, who's the Telangana's chief minister. But it's quite clear to see what stand that Revanth Reddy is taking. Remember, the Telangana chief minister is quite clear in his stance, where he says that yes, we want to extend an olive branch in saying that yes, you are at the center. You do handle the matters at hand, but he's also setting a precedent in saying it's going to be the state government which is going to hold all the power, and it's going to be us who's going to be the final deciding authority when it
Hmm.
comes to the state of Telangana.
All right. While that may be one way of looking at it, that the Revanth Reddy-led government is extending an olive branch to the center, but that is not true of any of the non-BJP ruled states here. At least maybe not true with Jagan to some extent, but we have seen in the Congress government here in Karnataka, the LDF in Kerala, and more prominently the DMK in Tamil Nadu. So where does Revanth Reddy figure in all of this? What kind of relationship do you feel is trying to build with the center here, Sudhir?
Well, I think this whole rhetoric that the Prime Minister indulged in, I don't think it was on the same stage that Revanth Reddy and the governor was there, because there was
Mm.
simultaneously another public meeting which of BJP Karyakartas and functionaries where he spoke politics. I don't think he spoke politics on the same stage as Revanth Reddy. So the Prime Minister also making a distinction between his role as the Prime Minister and his role as a BJP leader, given that the Lok Sabha elections are a month and a half away.
Yeah.
You spoke about other chief ministers. Yes, I do agree that Jagan Mohan Reddy, of course, has always had a very amicable relationship with the center. The other chief ministers in South India, be it Siddaramaiah in Karnataka or Pinarayi Vijayan in Kerala or M.K. Stalin in Tamil Nadu, don't really share a very cordial or at least a politically cordial relationship with the BJP leadership. So in that sense, Revanth Reddy is kind of striking on his own. He is kind of wanting to establish his own relationship, because remember, in order to fund the guarantees that the Congress had promised in the run-up to the Telangana elections, they need a lot of funds. And the whole idea from what I can understand from the ministers in the Telangana government, is to ensure that they make the best use of all the funds that the central government gives in under various schemes, instead of picking and choosing, saying that we will not implement this in Telangana like the previous government had done. That the health insurance scheme, for instance, was not implemented in Telangana for a long time. So they do not want to pick and choose and do that, but make use of every fund, every bit of money that comes as part of the centrally sponsored schemes. So I think Revanth Reddy is, as I said, taking a more pragmatic, a more realistic approach, because that's what he thinks Telangana needs at this point in time. Yes, politically, he will also be very aware that he cannot cross the very thin line between being a chief minister and being a politician who is seen as being too friendly with the BJP-led government. So he's, I'm sure, a savvy politician who understands that, because they have just a majority of 4 MLAs in the Telangana Assembly. The knives will very much be out for Revanth Reddy should he do anything which is deemed to be politically incorrect by the Congress High Command or the Congress leadership. So in that sense, walking a tightrope, but as of now, the way he kind of conducted himself seems to have been appreciated by people by and large.
That's true. Also, Apoorva, Sudhir there spoke about Revanth Reddy treading a very fine line there between pragmatism and also while trying to corner the center there. So, how much does he really need the center on his good books here? Basically, keeping in mind the kind of schemes and the promises that the Congress has made, which is similar to what the Congress government in Karnataka has done and is at war with the center. But Revanth Reddy seems to be going in a completely different way.
Well, Gautam, we've seen how in the recent budget the Congress had exposed a lot of the flack that it had received when the BRS was in power. In fact, they had released several white papers in the recent budget saying how the BRS had looted the public, in fact, and they had gone on to state that there were several crores worth of money that had been looted from the public exchequer there by the BRS-led government. And that's one of the pointers that Revanth Reddy is targeting at. He's trying to see that there be funds in order to implement these set promises, the 6 promises or the guarantees rather that the Congress has promised in its manifesto there, for them to execute it as well. Just now, recently, there were 2 promises, guarantees that were released, be it the 500 rupees per cylinder guarantee or even the up to 200 units of free electricity. That was launched by Revanth Reddy here in Telangana just a couple of days back, and we're still seeing a couple of more guarantees that are pending by the Congress-led government to release. So we're seeing how the essence of time becomes extremely crucial, because just in a couple of days, or rather a couple of weeks, we're going to see the election code that will be coming into term, and after that, there's not going to be any guarantees that will be released, and that's going to be one of the fundamental points that be it the BJP or the BRS in Telangana is going to point out. Should the Congress fail to execute and deliver on its 6 promises, we are seeing that yes, the Congress has come down stringently on the BRS government. There's been cases that have been filed against notable leaders from the BRS government there on looting from the public's exchequers, while on the other hand, Revanth Reddy there is trying to diplomatically see that there be things in finer space between the government, the center, and the state as well, because it's going to be a fine balance treading this line, because at the end of the day, it is these funds which will help in course through the promises that the Congress has given to the public. Remember, 6 of these promises. And in fact, in the recent budget session that was held in Telangana's assembly, it was also said that they are way over budget for these promises to be delivered. So he needs to find that balance between the center and the state to see that the funds are incoming. At the same time, the promises that the Congress has stood on for gaining power in Telangana, that goes down in a smooth way.
All right. Final thoughts from you, Sudhir, with Lok Sabha elections just around the corner. This sort of brotherhood and praising the Gujarat model, how will it go down with the voters who have voted in overwhelming numbers for the Congress? Won't it be a sort of mixed messaging? How will they see Revanth Reddy? Will his perception change, or will they also see this as a pragmatic approach by the Chief Minister?
Well, I do expect the BRS to criticize Revanth Reddy, saying that this is an insult to Telangana if he is kind of trying to downplay whatever has been achieved in Telangana over the last decade since the formation of the state in 2014. But having said that, I think Revanth Reddy, the politician, also is aware that the Lok Sabha election in Telangana is going to be fought essentially between the Congress and the BJP. The BRS will be a third player because it really has no national narrative to play on as far as the Lok Sabha elections are concerned. Even last time we saw, despite winning 88 seats out of 119 in 2018, in a matter of 4 months, they could win only 9 out of the 17 Lok Sabha seats, the BRS in Telangana. So in that sense, he does realize that the Congress' best chance is to win as many Lok Sabha seats this time. But the BJP would ride on the Narendra Modi brand name in order to make a dent and win more than 4 seats that they won in 2019. So the fight is between the BJP and the Congress. Once the campaign starts, obviously those kind of that political rhetoric will start. But I think, as I said, making a distinction between what his role as demanded by protocol, what he's expected to do as the chief minister, and what he's expected to do as a Congress leader.
All right. Thank you so much, T.S. Sudhir and Apoorva, for joining us on this discussion on SoSouth India today. That was indeed insightful to understand what this approach by Revanth Reddy really means and whether it's going to pay or bear fruit for the Congress in the Lok Sabha elections. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks.